Hello everyone, good afternoon to you. In my last video, I had mentioned this dish called Keerai Kadayal. Keerai meaning leafy green vegetables. Any leafy green vegetables is called Keerai in Tamil, which is my mother tongue. So I had also mentioned that I had heard this word Keerai Kadayal growing up and I had eaten this dish. And then I went on to say that this very dish I note is also called Kirai Masil, and I was kind of confused between the two. And then I sort of decided that they're both about the same thing. They both basically involve mushy green leafy vegetables, and either you add lentils into it or you don't. So that's my understanding of Kirai Kadayal and Kirai Masil. So I was supposed to cook this dish in my last video, but then I was talking about the commonly used vegetable for this dish would be amaranth, and I had gone through so much about amaranth and the varieties of amaranth and the nutritional benefits of amaranth that that video kind of got a little long. So today I would actually like to take on that bit that I didn't continue with last week, and I would like to cook Kirai Kadayal in this video. So these are the vegetables that I'm going to incorporate in this Kirai Kadayal today. So this is a bowl of cleaned and washed amaranth, and then I have these dried chilies. These are dried chilies. I have about 4 dried chilies. You can use the long variety as well. I just wanted to use this one today. And then I have some sliced shallots over here. It's about 2 shallots, small ones. And then here there are about 5 shallots that I have just cut into 2. And over here, I think this is about 4 garlic cloves and 1 green chili that I've chopped in these large pieces. So these 2, and then this is 1 whole tomato that I've just cubed, salt, turmeric powder, there you go, and some coconut oil, and that's about it. This is what I'm going to use for my Kirai Kadayal today. I'm also going to use some mixed spices, which is split urad dal, mustard seeds, and cumin seeds. This is what my mixed spices is all about, and some asafoetida. Now the oil has started to heat. I'm just going to put in the garlic, the onions, as well as the chili, and give it a bit of a stir. Once it's slightly, just a little bit brown, I am going to add the tomatoes. Now I'm going to add the tomatoes. Some turmeric powder, just about a 1/4 teaspoon. Salt, 1 teaspoon. Let this saute for another minute or so. Now I'm going to add about a cup of water, not too much. Remember this, guys, only a little bit of water, because I'm going to put the amaranth in here, and later we're going to blend it. So we don't want too much of water in here. So now I'm just going to cover this pot, and we will let it cook for about 3 minutes, maybe just 2 minutes. Now to this pot, I'm now going to add all the amaranth, but this is just for once the amaranth is put inside, I will only cover it and then leave it for about just one boil. That means it just has to boil for one time, and then you have to take it out, because you can't let it boil for too long. If it does, the color of the amaranth will change, and we don't want that. So now I'm going to put a little bit more water, because it looks like could do with a bit more, and just cover it and leave it to boil just about a minute or so. Just give it a stir in between. Cover it again, not too long. Now I'm going to turn off the heat because you can see it's like fully boiled. It's boiling, and remove it from my uh, from my where I'm heating it, because I don't want it to continue. What I'm going to do now, guys, is I'm going to take out the amaranth, sort of like sieve it, put it in here, leave the liquid over there, because I'm going to put this, when this is cool, this amaranth that is cooked here, when this is cool, I'm going to put it into my food processor to give it a blend. So you could use a blender as well and set it on pulse, as long as you don't get this the leaves too mushy. So this is the amaranth that I have sieved, and this is the liquid. Don't throw away the liquid because we're going to use it later. So what we're going to do now is basically put the amaranth that I have sieved from the liquid into either a blender or a food processor. And since I have a food processor, I'm going to use a food processor. You could also use a blender, but just use the pulse function, because you don't want this the leaves to be blended like a like a soup or something like that. You want it to be like in little chunky pieces, bits and pieces everywhere. So that is how Keerai Kadayal ought to look like. And then I'm going to let you in on something else. So guys, know what this is? This in Tamil is called a mattu. Mattu is this thing. I don't know what you call it in what it's called in English, but basically what this does is, the traditional way of doing this Keerai Kadayal is to take those amaranth leaves that have been boiled, put it into a clay pot, and then you take this thing and you use your elbow grease, and you are supposed to, like, I've seen people doing this. I've seen them going this way, and my mom used to like sort of do this. And there I was feeling really adventurous and feeling like, I wanted to go all traditional. So I took this from my mom. This is hers, and I wanted hers only. And I took hers and I said, I am going to use this. So I did try it once. And I do realize now that this thing and me, we don't get along. So I would rather just use the food processor than use this, because this takes a whole lot of elbow grease, and then you possibly need to have a clay pot, because the friction in the clay pot, the interior of the clay pot, will probably be a better a better base for me to do that too. But it takes a lot of work. So if you want to go traditional, use one of these. If you don't, then just use the food processor. So guys, this is my food processor. I really love this. I have a Kenwood food processor as well, but I like this. I find this Preeti Zodiac food processor really good as well. It's good for Indian stuff, Indian food. So now I'm going to turn it on, and I'm also going to use the pulse function. Because I don't want it to get too mushy. So I blended it, sort of processed it to this consistency. You see, it's like this. Not too, not like a paste. So it still has little chunky pieces in it, and it still has some, some shape. Okay, the little bits of the leaves, pieces of leaf like that. It's not completely like a soup. So I plated the what was in the food processor, the leaves that were processed. I put it in here, and then the liquid that had collected in this bowl, I poured it in here, and I gave it a mix. So right now this is how it looks. You could at this stage add some coconut milk if you wanted to. Well, it's up to you. I think I'm going to add a little bit today. I should have added the coconut milk while I put it into the other pot, but doesn't matter. So this is just a little bit of coconut cream that I'm going to add in here. to just give it that extra oomph. You see, I think that's all. You don't remember, you don't have to. My mom used to add a little bit, and I think I omitted to mention that earlier. So just a little bit. Just let that heat up a little bit, because you can't just put the coconut milk and not let it cook. So let it cook a little bit, then you can take it out. So this is akin to adding to adding cream on top of western soups, or adding cream to palak paneer, the North Indian spinach dish. So this is how India South Indians, we use a lot of coconut milk. It's beginning to boil a little bit, so I'm going to turn off the heat. So guys, now for the tempering, a little bit of oil or ghee, up to you. There's something about ghee and me. I'm just going to put 1 teaspoon here. So once that goes in goes the spices. 1 teaspoon. You can add a little bit more. And then you put in this the chilies. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to sort of take out the seeds, because this chili can be really spicy. Just some of the seeds, and yeah, not all of it though. Put in the onions, because it was beginning to burn. And of course, a teaspoon of asafoetida. And there you go. All you have to do is put this on top of this. And this is what makes the dish, really takes it to the next level. There you go, guys. There you go, guys. Keerai Kadayal made in the traditional Indian style. Here you go. This is how it looks like. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me today. And if you did enjoy this video, please do join me next time. Subscribe to my videos. Do give me a like. Bye, guys. Here's Shakila Shanmugam signing off. Bye, everyone.